Hey guys, I'm Shyrshadi. Welcome to a little bit of a different video than usual. Normally I'm the macro guy and I'm gonna say macro, 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 but by popular demand of my Protoss and my clan, I have created a guide for the Protoss vs Zerg Chargelot All-In, which is just the 8-gate Pure Zealot All-In. So we're gonna go straight on in. As usual, I have recorded this versus Elite AI. And I've not personally executed it on stream or on ladder, but a number of my clanmates have successfully executed it, and they have done very well with it. Now, obviously, this is just going to be a standard opener, so I'm going to speed up the initial gateway expand timing, but I am going to include the build notes in the description below. So we're just going to go ahead and speed up past that, and it is following my camera. I am gateway scouting at all times at this point versus Zerg, and what you're looking for on the other side of the map is you want to see when this hatchery went down. This is about as far as that bar should be filled if it was a standard hatch first timing. If it was a pool first, this will be getting started, or it won't have started at all when your probe gets here. So, carrying on. 14 pylon, 16 gate, 17 gas, 20 nexus, 20 cyber, 21 second gas, 22 second pylon. So we'll slow this down to normal as soon as the Cybernetics core is done. Not normal, but normal speed. So adept and chrono is the first thing. You're going to start your Twilight Council as soon as you have the 100 gas there. So as soon as the adept is done, it's going to go straight across the map. The probe just kind of hangs out for now. After the adept is out and is on its way across the map, you can go ahead and send your probe home. As soon as you have the money, you're going to want to start a stalker. The stalker is going to try to shoot down any overlords. Basically, only one overlord is being sent per matchup right now from Zerg, because Stargate is the automatic expectation, and so they don't want to lose multiple overlords. So by denying the first one, you're going to be able to help prevent what's going on. Now notice I have started charge before I started Robotics Facility. This is important for the timing to line up. The Robotics Facility will start with the next available 100 gas, and after that you pull off probes. The reason we started charge first is for the way it lines up. Now, we've only chronoed it once. Also, the other thing about delaying the Robotics Facility is Zerg is not sure what this opener is. If he just sees the Chrono Twilight, it could be an adept opener, it could be just like a charged zealot opener into a third base, whatever. But the idea is the stalker should be able to deny vision about the time you start the Robotics Facility. Now you can build the Robotics Facility wherever you want, but as soon as you have the money for it, the gas, you pull off gas. This was a mistake. I just was worried about getting the build right so the adept dies here. Ideally, you get it back home after you've scouted to make sure that nothing crazy is going on. I'm going ahead and building a shield battery as part of this, because this is not something that is necessarily GM level execution, and you may have to deal with early pressure, and having a shield battery there means banelings can't actually burst through a stalker. So after your Robotics Facility starts, the objective is to already have the amount of probes you need so that when you pull off gas, you're actually done building probes. So I was a little bit delayed on it. So I've got 31 probes. The one I just lost was 32, so you build one extra probe, although I'm actually overbuilding them because habit. And then you end up with 32, and that's supposed to be all you need, because you'll have the full saturation on your minerals and gas. And I just overbuilt the probes and realized it and canceled it. So here comes the gateway explosion. You're going to go up to a total of 8 gateways, which means you need to build 7 now. As a disclaimer, if you are in a lower league, like if you're not diamond, you don't need to just worry about 8 gateways. Go ahead and build 10, because it's very likely that you're not going to hit all your warp-in cycles, and you will need a way to spend the extra money. Now, after you've started all these gateways, you're going to want to have a Pylon Explosion as well. Notice you've got a good amount of money. As soon as this prism starts and gets sent across the map, it's going to get chronoed, and here comes the pylons. Now, one thing to note is you only chrono charge once, because it finishes in plenty of time. And so I've built a total of 5 pylons, and that's generally like the most you really want to be able to spend. I'm whipping in a single zealot because that's the only gateway I have completed right now. Prism is going to pick it up and then go. Hotkey the Prism. Change all your gateways into warp gates. As the Prism's going across the map, you're going to morph it and warp in as many zealots as you possibly can here. Drop those out, go ahead and hotkey those, and start sending them to wherever you're going to send your next rally. Chrono your gateways, whatever ones you can, with as much energy as you have left, and you're going to do another round of warp in. And this is your first attack force. This is a total of 14 zealots, hitting before 5:30. This is something that will normally kill your opponent. Builds a couple pylons at home. Now the micro for this is pretty important. You're not actually just A-moving, you're move commanding these zealots. Because if you have them burn their charge and then suddenly you see banelings and you have to right-click away to split your zealots, they've wasted their charge, they've wasted potential damage. So all I see is zealots, zerglings and roaches, so I can A-click here, and then charge will initiate and connect with everything, doing the extra 8 damage. Warp in as much as you can. You want to keep your Prism away from Ravagers and Queens. After they have died, you can relocate. But generally, you want to be warping in as fast as you can. And if you notice, my money is basically being spent the way it needs to be. So just move command your Zealots, and then A-click. Relocate Prism to easier spot. Chrono gateways as you have the free APM. Warp in when you can. And then you can box half your Zealots and send them off into the main base to start playing while your Zealots in the natural are chewing away. This is basically the build. At this point, you just keep warping in. Don't forget to build pylons at home. Notice I have 83 of 102 supply. I will not run out of pylon supply before this game is over. Use Prism, warp in another round, and spend the money, and rally them in. It's very A-movie. The only thing you have to really worry about is if the Zerg has banelings, in which case you want to kind of box split your Zealots, and hope your opponent is bad, because banelings are actually rather annoying to deal with at this level, specifically because there are players who can control-click banelings and not just A-move them, so the higher level you are, the better you want to split your zealots against banelings. The advantage of playing against banelings is they are actually fire and forget. Once the banelings have died, they're gone. Roaches are the best way to try to hold this on a low drone count. Basically, if you have more than about 45 drones, you're going to die to this build, especially if you're unable to scout it, and the stalker is supposed to be able to help make sure that particular part of it does not happen. Obviously, it's Elite AI, so there were no scouting overlords, but most of the time they'll poke in from here, they'll see this stalker, and honestly, you could just build a second gateway here and you build your oboe in your main, and that's absolutely fine. For the sake of efficiency, I just went ahead and built it in the natural, and went on from there. Basically, the Zerg won't necessarily know what your build is just by scouting out the Twilight first, and the objective is to kill the Overlord first before the Robo goes down. If they scout Twilight Robo, they might know, but it's entirely possible to overdrone and still mess up. A lot of Zerg players are also going to try to put the roaches in the mineral lines, which is when it's best to split off roaches and send them into 2 directions, because it's very difficult for Zerg to split their army after Zealots are already on the map. So, just making sure you're not getting your Zealots stuck. You can right-click them around behind the minerals to then engage into 2 places. Sometimes the Zerg will put their drones on hold position. But the point is, as long as you're reinforcing warp-ins, you're going to be able to build stuff much faster than the Zerg player, because the Queens are going to be, instead of injecting, having to fight, and so that larva production will not be there. I am Shyrshadi. If this video has helped you, if this video has made you salty, feel free to comment below. I do ask that you be at least less salty than you probably would be on ladder, or at least less BM, because children will likely be reading this as StarCraft is now free to play. Thank you guys. Hope to see you when I'm live, on streams when I cast. Feel free to follow me at Shyrshadi on Twitter, and have an awesome day.